Hey guys, welcome to the Bible section of this year's VBS at home. I hope you are having a great summer so far, and I hope that this will help you have an even better time. So while you're here, I'm going to be telling you some of the Bible stories for this year's VBS. All of these stories are about people that Jesus had an encounter with, and today we're going to be looking at the story of Zacchaeus. But our theme for today is that Jesus knows who I really am. It's a good thing to remember that Jesus really does know all about us, and we're going to see that today in this story. So if you have your book like this that came in your kit, you have a coloring page about Zacchaeus, and you also have the text of the story directly from the Bible. Now, you might also have your own copy of the Bible that you want to use. So if you're doing that, we're going to go to Luke 19, verses 1 through 10, if you want to read this story on your own. Now, the story starts by telling us that Zacchaeus was a tax collector. Now, I'm going to show you really quick what you need to know about a tax collector. They really weren't liked, and we're going to head over and I'll show you why. Now, back in those days, tax collectors had to collect a certain amount of coins from everybody. So at the certain time, everybody in town would go to a tax collector and give them how many ever coins the Roman government said they had to give them. So each of these people, you can see has a different amount of money. This guy has 3, this one has 5, this one has 4. Now the Roman government might have told the tax collector that they needed to collect 1 coin from every person. Now let's see what the problem with that is. So this guy comes to see the tax collector, and maybe he's a friend of the tax collector. So he says, okay, just give me 1 of your coins. And that person goes home. Then this person comes to see the tax collector, and boy, the tax collector does not like him. Maybe they've been enemies, or maybe, who knows, maybe he just doesn't like where he's from. And so the tax collector says, I really don't like this guy. So I'm going to make him pay me 3 coins. He's got enough anyway, doesn't he? So 3 coins go to the tax collector. And then he goes back home. Now he lost a lot of coins, didn't he? Do you think he would be happy about what happened? Probably not. And then finally this guy comes to the tax collector. And the tax collector says, well, you know, he's got a lot of money too, but I guess I'll just take 1 coin from him. Like I'm supposed to. So he goes home. Now, these 2 guys only paid 1 coin. But who likes to have to give up any of their money, right? So neither one of them are happy about paying the taxes. But this guy had to give up way more. So he's really unhappy. So now, after everybody has gone home and they've gone about their way, then the Roman comes to the tax collector and says, okay, you saw 3 people? I need 3 coins. 1, 2, 3. So he takes those coins and he goes away back to the Roman government, and they have their tax. But look at what the tax collector has. There are still 2 coins there. So guess what the tax collector does with them? He puts them in his own pocket. He is going to take those home with him. And now those are his. So not only does he get paid to take other people's money, but now he's also stolen from at least one person in this scenario. So you can see why the tax collectors were not very popular, because they did this kind of stuff all of the time. And the people really did not like the tax collectors. Okay, so hopefully you saw why most people didn't like the tax collectors. For the most part, they weren't very well liked by anybody. But especially by the people that they cheated. So Zacchaeus was a tax collector. And one day he heard that Jesus was coming to town. And so he was so excited that he wanted to see Jesus, but Zacchaeus had another problem. Zacchaeus was also short. Now we don't know how short he actually was, but we know he was short enough that he couldn't see over the tops of other people. Now maybe you've had that same problem. Maybe you've been to a parade and your mom or dad has had to lift you up so you could see over top of other people. Zacchaeus had that same problem. So he did something so he could still see Jesus. Now, he couldn't climb up on his mom or dad's shoulders, but he did climb up into a sycamore tree. Now, sycamore trees, we know, are pretty big, and they're really good climbing trees. So he climbed up into the tree, and as Jesus passed by, we know he was super excited to get to see Jesus. But something even more exciting happened. Jesus stopped and looked up into the tree and called Zacchaeus by name. And he said, "Zacchaeus, come down, because I want to go to your house for dinner today." Can you imagine how excited Zacchaeus must have felt that he had just wanted to be able to see Jesus, and now Jesus is calling him by name, and he's coming to his house for dinner? How excited must Zacchaeus have been? How excited would you be if Jesus were going to show up at your house for dinner tonight? I know I would be pretty excited. So now in this story, it's a really short story, but the important part is that Jesus knew who Zacchaeus was. He knew that Zacchaeus wanted to see him. He knew a lot about Zacchaeus. But Jesus, knowing all of that, still wanted to know Zacchaeus. And he still wants to know you, and he does know you. The Bible says that Jesus even knows how many hairs are on your head. Have you ever tried counting your hairs? There's a lot of them. And every time you would count, you'd probably lose some, and maybe some would start growing. So who knows how many are on your head? But the Bible tells us that Jesus does. That's how well he knows each one of us. And that's what's so important about our point today, is that Jesus knows who I really am. He knows more about me than anybody else. And that's a wonderful thing that he knows us that well. There's nothing about you that's a secret from Jesus. So hopefully that's something that can encourage you as you go through the rest of this week. That there's somebody who knows you that well, and even better, that he loves you, even though he knows everything about you. So I hope you have fun for the rest of the day of all the other stuff that we have for you, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.